What's up, everybody? OG here, and this was straight up nostalgia. Turning on eFootball to just do my daily logins, keep up with the game as I do with all football games, and you see original style models taking the daily PK, and after that, more and more nostalgia. Now, putting aside the fact that this was Konami's effort to trap you into spending more money, and just looking at the fact that this brought you back down memory lane to the original days. I'm talking before you even thought about whether it was a Konami football game or EA Sports football game, and just before you thought about anything but how lucky you were to be able to play football on the sticks. After all day running around playing football outside, you get to come in and take your imagination to a different level with your favorite sport. I mean, this is what it's all about, and I truly suggest that you go watch the video titled "So You Want to Be a Football Gamer." It really takes you through the evolution from the beginning until now of playing the beautiful game on the sticks. And one of the best parts about it was the innocence. You didn't have to worry about any type of money, right? For one, because your parents bought everything, but for two, I mean, even if you had to buy something, say you're an adult playing at that time or older, it was just you buy the game, then you play. That was it. You have your buddies over or you play AI. There's nothing else. Now, you have to worry about all this type of stuff you're seeing on screen, and it's money, money, money. Even seeing this incredible throwback to what I consider the golden era, and what many consider the golden era of Konami's eFootball. At the time was Konami's Pro Evolution Soccer. Some parts of the world it was Winning 11. I mean, seeing these players with the old school player models from the given year, which is listed, the given iteration of the game, I mean, that was awesome. Not to mention they are incredible players. I mean, me knowing exactly what's up with the way Konami wants you to spend money and being sick to my stomach at how they do it, I still almost put some money in for these particular players with this type of promotion. But not only is their price point and the way they try to get money from their player base a disgusting maneuver, it is also disgusting where they took this game and the reason they took it to where they did. What I mean by that is, at its core, eFootball is the very best football game. Physics-wise, nothing feels as true to football as eFootball. As far as the way they bring the legends to life within the game and keep them true to their counterparts, no one does it like eFootball. However, they realize they have a lower skilled overall player base because the most skilled players are in FC or in FIFA, and that's just a fact. Now, I love eFootball, I truly do. I love PES, I love the history of it. I mean, 30 years, you aren't going to be around that long unless you do some things right, and I can tell you what they did right. They created a cult following of players who felt proud to play their game because it stayed, like I said, true to football. However, they have ventured way off path in order to keep the lower skilled players that really make up a majority of their player base happy. And this has led to a game full of AI assistance to the point where it totally impedes on the control that the player should have, the control that makes the skill gap, which is what should separate each player when they compete, not the player plus AI equals whatever result you get, because it's just not fair. It's not truly player versus player anymore, and that defeats the purpose of football games going all the way back to the beginning. That defeats the purpose of any competitive game where you sat down originally against your buddy or against whoever and the better player would win. But now the game is riddled with things like you're seeing on screen, which this is courtesy of Kiyomo the Rapper, who captured a moment here that happens all the time. And not only this, there are many of these moments where scripting comes in, or whatever you want to call it, and players just blatantly act in a random way, such as missing the ball like you see here, or not making a run towards the ball, or a wide open shot that they would score 99.999% of the time, they all of a sudden miss, and maybe even miss it a couple times in a row, and all of it is in sequence with a certain outcome that you can tell the game is pushing for. That is what is taking away from the game. I mean, this person says it perfectly with his description of what the game is right now. I want to read this. Just played 2 games, first impressions. Pass Assist 3 still feels like Pass Assist 1. I'm going to paraphrase, but he's basically saying passes that you point to one direction go a totally different direction. Don't know about everyone, but if I choose to play pass assist 3, I prefer the ball to move where I pass, not in another direction. I don't want the ball to go where the AI chooses. If I make the wrong choice, it is my mistake to make, which is exactly correct. He nailed it on the head right there. The mistakes you make on top of what you do well, that's what makes you the player you are. That's what makes the competition against your opponent. And while I don't agree with every single thing this person said, he nailed a lot of it, and he nailed the sentiment that many players in eFootball, at least the ones that want to play true football, are feeling right now, because there is a complete lack of control. Now, it's not you control nothing, okay? That's just not true. There's still fun in the game. I miss playing eFootball every day, and that's because of some of those things that, Konami did right. But there is a lot that Konami has done wrong, and a lot of control that should go to the players that they have given AI. And I'm not talking about the good part of the AI simulation they added, like the automatic player skills that sometimes trigger. I think that's a brilliant idea. There is a lot of detail in Konami's eFootball, which sets them apart from the other football games. I love that part of it. I'm talking about the details on the pitch that take away from the actual player playing the game, that takes it away from what this game has always been about, which is crazy that this is a throwback time of the game, because that's what eFootball needs to be. They need to go back to the PES days where the manual control, that feeling that you were actually playing football with these virtual players, that is what made people love eFootball over the more arcade feel of EA Sports' FIFA. You didn't feel like you were truly playing football. You felt like you were playing a version of it. And Konami has totally gone away from that by taking all this control away. And the reason they're doing it is even worse, which is to keep these lower level players able to compete. Let them be able to compete by working at the game and getting better. That's the beauty of competition. But the problem is these type of players. There are two different types here, and these are responding to that original comment that I shared earlier. You have the one that just says, who cares, man, just play for fun, who cares about how the game is, blow off some steam, it doesn't really matter. And you have the other that says things like skill issue and what are you talking about, you're totally wrong. And the reason why these type of players are the problem within eFootball is because it allows Konami to get away with the things they get away with, such as adding Smart Assist into the game. Konami would have never added something like Smart Assist in the game if they knew their player base wasn't going to accept it. And look what we have. Obviously, there is a good amount of outrage, but nothing close to what there should be. Not to mention, like I just said, they never should have even felt like this was something that should be added or needed to be added to the game. The fact that the player base doesn't see this as a slap in the face, as an insult to what Konami feels their skill level is, blows my mind. I mean, all of this combined makes eFootball pointless to play because it isn't true competition. Now, if you want to go play the AI, yes. But I'll say even the AI nowadays has an amount of scripting to it to where you still don't feel like you're just playing a game. You feel like there's some type of outcome that's already pre-generated. That, again, takes away from the competition. But at least with the AI, you know what you're getting. You're not playing a player with added help, which is essentially cheating, right? I mean, you can hide behind the fact that Konami added it so it's okay, but you know deep down, or maybe even not deep down, you just blatantly don't care, but you know that when you use Smart Assist, you're taking away from the results that you normally would get. You top-ranked players that are using it especially, I mean, if you're a brand new player, okay, I could get it, even though you're never going to learn using something like Smart Assist. But you top-ranked players that are using it, you should be ashamed of yourself. You are not a true footballer. That is ridiculous that you would use something that takes your decisions away and puts AI's decisions in place of it. Because no matter what outcomes you get, no matter how many times you win with Smart Assist, you know that it's not truly you winning. When you play a player 1v1, your mistakes, the things you do well, and you end up victorious, that's when you truly earned it. That's when you get the best feeling of satisfaction because you earned the victory with your skill in football. That's what we're competing in. And the two key words there are we and competing, with the stress on we. We as in, we make the decisions, not the AI. I mean, what is the point in playing if AI is making most of the decisions, such as the most important decisions, passing and shooting, right? The AI is making them with Smart Assist. But even without Smart Assist, like the gentleman commented earlier on the post I shared, Pass Assist 3 is the next closest to what should be full manual passing, and still the AI is making decisions. The lack of an advanced shooting system like FC has makes shooting an AI decided aspect of the game as well, because you can shoot the ball the same way 100 times. 95 it might go in, 2 times it might hit the post, and then 3 times it's going to go over the top, and you hit it the exact same way because there is no rhyme or reason. The AI has input on every aspect of the game, Smart Assist or not, and that's where Konami has made the biggest mistake. But the beauty of the situation with eFootball and Konami, as opposed to, let's say, UFL with their development company Strikers, is that at its core, eFootball is a great game. All Konami has to do is draw back the AI assistance, such as the crazy way they chose to make their defending mechanics to help lower skilled players. Or like we just discussed, the shooting being AI decided as opposed to fully skill based, where every time you shoot, you know if you do well, you're going to score. If you make the mistake, you're going to miss, or maybe if the goalkeeper has good movement, they'll save it. But right now, all you do is shoot and hope that the script, as a lot of people call it, or that the AI decides to let you score. It's ridiculous. Shooting is skill-based. They need to make it such. Defending is skill-based. They need to make it such. Not press these buttons, let AI do the work. That's the same case for everything. If they just go back to their roots, to when the game looked similar to what you're seeing on screen, where it was just the player on the sticks moving, shooting, passing, their skill decided how they would do on the pitch and nothing else, because that is what football is about, which is absolutely insane that we are discussing this with a company like Konami, who has been the marquee football video game development company that stayed true to football over all these years. I mean, you are celebrating your anniversary, and you have been around this long and created such a fan base because of the true to football nature of your games all these years. Even when EA Sports would blow you out of the water with graphics or whatever else, your fan base stuck around because you stayed true to football. And for whatever reason, greed seeped in. All the years in the past, it didn't matter, but all of a sudden, clear as day, greed is without a doubt at the core of the decision making that is ruining eFootball. So unfortunately, without players speaking up, nothing will change, because Konami is making money hand over fist by constantly pulling players in with these players they are releasing. Like I said earlier, even where I stand, I almost put money in to get Baggio, Piqué, Adriano. The way they brought the nostalgia into it. They know what they're doing, and they are not going to listen to anything but the bottom line being affected. If enough players speak up and they think it's going to hurt how much money they're making, they will make changes. If they keep making bank, well then obviously they've shown they don't care what their game is like. So, when it comes down to it, even though many players don't see it this way, we, as a player base, are truly in control of eFootball's destiny. So, only time will tell exactly where this ship sails to. For now, it's just not in a great place. You let me know what you think, and as always, keep grinding, keep having fun. Make sure if you haven't already, you like and subscribe. Join the Discord. The link is in the YouTube bio, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out.